Coming up.
Raye, Lola Young, Jessie J, Loyle Carner, Tom Holland, Amy Winehouse, Adele, Leona Lewis, Kay Tempest, Kate Nash, Jordan Peters, Olivia Dean, Cat Burns.
Yeah, taught them all, but didn't know if they learnt anything from me. But they all did come to this school in Croydon, yeah, that's for sure.
I have an amazing guest for you today, choosing their top 5 tracks. This man is Stuart Worden. He is head of the Brit School. Stuart Worden, welcome to Mixed Modo.
Oh, Mixed Modo, thank you for having me, Nige.
Listen, I should say Stuart Worden OBE.
You can do that, make my mum happy, but I'm also okay if you don't mention it. It's okay.
I think it's pretty impressive. It's from last year, 2025, right?
Yeah, it's really funny to like meet the king, put a suit on. It's not what I do every day. It was. First of all, I couldn't quite believe it, and then I was like, I don't know what I feel about all of this, and then everyone was like, that's nice. So like, I kind of went with that was nice. Yeah,
and it's in recognition for your contribution to arts and performing arts and stuff, which is amazing, I think.
Well, that's really kind. Thank you. I think, the school has just had such a brilliant 30 odd years, and I've been here for pretty much all of them and seen all the highs and the lows and the successes. And as I say, my mum is delighted, and I am too. It's just a strange thing. It's not like it's not what I get up to do in the morning, but it is what's happened. Yeah. So
yes,
I should embrace it, as they say, Nigel. I'm embracing it.
Yeah. But yes, there are people who sort of reject them, aren't they? Which is a bit seems a bit like ungrateful for some reason.
And I think actually one of my record choices today definitely did reject it every single time. So
okay.
David Bowie is on the list of the people who said that's not for me.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
I said yes, and I sort of for clarity, I think I said yes certainly because that was amazing for my family, my mum, but also like kind of brilliant for the school to be recognised as a place where good things have come.
Yeah.
So I kind of say yes to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Stuart, if no one, which is unbelievable in the UK, but if no one's heard of the Brit School, explain what the Brit School is.
Sure. So the Brit School is a free school. That's the most important thing to say. No one pays to come here. It's a state school for 14 to 18-year-olds who have a passion and a commitment to all the art forms and creative art forms and performing art forms. And they want to pursue that. So for 2 or 4 years, depending on what they choose to do, they can come here and study dance, theatre, film, digital design, lighting design, community arts, applied theatre, musical theatre, painting, sculpture, all the arts are studied here. And of course, music is one of the things we're very well known for. And we take them really seriously. They also study all the other academic subjects. So yesterday was Maths GCSE paper 3. That's a big day for the kids.
Yeah.
And they study history and English. And so like in any other school. So, but it's dedicated to give a space where people can be adventurous and take risks and kind of grow as an artist and work out whether they want to take that seriously for the rest of their lives. So you might have an inkling at 13 that you want to be a dancer, or you might want to be a painter, or you might want to work backstage in the movies, or you might want to be a songwriter. And then we give them the space and the tools and the value that could become true, yeah. And it's been joyful.
Yes, and your success at Brit School is amazing. And I'm just going to read out some names, Stuart, which I was amazed by. Right, Raye, Lola Young, pretty well known. Jessie J, Loyle Carner, Tom Holland, Amy Winehouse, Adele, Leona Lewis, Kay Tempest, Kate Nash, Jordan Peters, Olivia Dean, Cat Burns. I could go on because there's a whole wiki page dedicated to the alumni of Brit School. Yes,
amazing.
Honestly,
taught them all, but didn't know if they learnt anything from me. But they all did come to this school in Croydon. Yeah, that's for sure, and many more. Yeah.
How do you develop the ethos for that belief in? I guess giving someone a belief that they can go on and do something. Yeah. Where does that come from?
I think the idea. I'm a theatre man. I'm a theatre director, and the first time I was ever taken seriously was when I was about 16, 17 at college, and that I could become a theatre director or a playwright or an actor. And it meant the world to me on a personal level. And we say to young people, if they come here at 14 or they come here at 16, there's 2 entry points. We will take you really seriously. We believe you will make movies. We believe that you will write songs. We believe you'll become an actor if you wish to be so. And we just value them. So I think there's a value. There is also a kind of ethos here that we'd love them to be original artists. So all those songwriters you mentioned, they might have written their very first song in our classrooms
Yeah.
because they have to. They have to.
Okay.
That's like whether you want to be a session musician, you still have to write your own songs. If you want to be a filmmaker, you have to direct your own movies. If you want to be an artist, you have to paint your own paintings. So this is not a copycat place. So we encourage originality. We encourage social responsibility. So we want them all to change the world. So I love the fact that Olivia had a chat with Ticketmaster. I love the fact that Raye had a chat about misogyny in the music industry. I
Yeah.
love the fact that Lola had a chat about mental health.
Yes.
And they'll carry on doing that because I think we've encouraged them here to know what they believe in, to work out what they want to do with the world and their art form. So that's in the mix. And then we've just dedicated the space to, there's 250 shows a year here.
Wow.
There's 4 today.
Wow.
Yeah, for real. And because we've worked that out. So if you just do your end of school play, that's going to be amazing for you in a normal school. What a
Yeah.
brilliant experience. But if you were doing 8 a year or 10 a year plays, you're going to get better. You're going to take yourself more seriously. So some
Of
of our
course.
musicians have done 4 gigs this week alone outside of school.
Outside of the school.
Outside of school. So they played a brand new theatre in Olympia. They played a new venue. They played Downing Street yesterday. I know, crazy, right?
Yeah.
Bonkers. For a state school in Croydon, what
Yeah.
wild. So we kind of just know that practice, rehearsal is a really important part of growth as an artist.
Because you
So
start believing in yourself as well. That
yeah,
like the
and you
more you
also,
do it, the more you improve.
there's a beautiful bit when I remember Ella Eyre, and she was at the Brit Awards, and Adele was on stage singing "Someone Like You." And I remember Ella, apparently I wasn't standing there with her, but she turned around to a member of staff and said, "I'm going to do that." And 3 years later, she's on stage with Rudimental at the Brit Awards. And I think they believe because we believe, if that makes sense. And that's not manifesting, that's literally from practical steps. How do you become a filmmaker? Well, here's a camera, let's make some movies. When I meet a student in the corridor, if I meet a film student, I say, "What movie are you making at the moment?" Like, I'm meeting a kid today at lunch, and she's such a good songwriter, and she shared me her songs yesterday. I played them last night. We're going to talk about them today, and I'm going to take her seriously.
Let's talk about the funding, because the funding is incredibly unique, and I wonder if it has always been like that, because it is a state funded, essentially comprehensive, I guess, is it?
Yep, it
But you
is.
also get funding directly from the Brit Awards. Is that
Yep,
right?
that's correct. Yeah.
And has that always been the case?
Yep. Yeah. So
Okay.
the school was set up by a brilliant charity called the Brit Trust. The Brit Trust are the Brit School, and the Brit Trust was a record industry initiative working with government to say, listen, we should set up an art school for free in South London, and we will help fund it. We will take some of that responsibility away from the government, and we will do our bit. And wow, have they done their bit. So every year, the Brit Trust raises money from the Brit Awards and donates that to the school so that we can have a recording studio, so that we can have lessons for free for students from low income families to learn the
Yeah.
guitar. And that is
Yes.
life changing because the Brit Trust really believe in access for all. So they've made a school, they've helped build a school, as have lots of other parts of the performing arts industry, by the way. So 20% of our money is from sponsorship and private support, and 80% of it's from the government. In lots of ways, I wish that wasn't the case. I wish we didn't have to fundraise all the time.
Yeah.
But because I think the arts are so powerful for this country. But yes, day one, the Brit Trust was set up day one, and
Okay.
they have changed everything. Like, and you know, we've got newer friends like YouTube Music, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Dr. Martins, Burberry, Spotify. Lots of people have come on board because they want to be part of it, which is incredible. Yeah, that's the model. And it is unique. You're right.
Yeah. And I so one of my questions was going to be, it's a bit
Yep.
South UK centric, Stuart, isn't it? And then
Uh,
I
we
and then I
we are
and then
we
I
are in
worked out.
South London. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but then I did hear, and tell me if this is right or not. They're also setting up a new one in Bradford
That's
in a
right.
couple
Yeah,
of years'
yeah.
time.
That's not the Brit School aren't doing that, but the BPI are. So the BPI are working with industry. They've asked us for some advice, and they are, yeah, looking to open a school in the next 5 years,
Yeah.
which will have the sort of Brit School model. It's actually a sixth form. It's not a school. It's a college. 16 to 18 is the proposal, and there are similar schools throughout the country who have come down here and God, we want a bit of advice on how to shape arts training. So, a
Yes.
wonderful school in Wakefield called Kappa, a college, Lipper Sixth Form up in Liverpool, Elam out in East London. There's lots of other places. So, I understand the south of England, London centric discussion about the Brit School, but bear in mind that 10% of our students come from outside of London. As well, so we've had students here from everywhere, from Middlesbrough to Newcastle to um, Cornwall to Wales, Northern Islands. So this is, and also we go out into the world. So the Brit School has been to Manchester, Birmingham, etc. We don't
What, looking for students,
we're
potential
sort of
students?
just looking to share.
Okay.
We understand. Like at the moment, we're in our community term, and we're doing 8,000 people are accessing the Brit School for free this year alone, in order
Okay.
that we can give the arts to people. So we're working in hospices, we're working in youth centres, we're working with disability groups, Alzheimer's groups, so that we totally get that this is an unusual institution,
Mm.
but it has to share it with others. And that is,
Mm.
if someone said to me, why is the Brit School been a success? I would say it's because the artists share their art with others. So this cute
Okay.
thing happens in about 5 weeks' time, called Little People's Day, where every child under the age of 5 in the local community can come here for free to have an introduction to the arts. And these
Wow.
4-year-olds will be in movies, they'll be in dances, they're going to write songs with us, they're going to do paintings with us, because we've tried to encourage artists to share with others. Yeah, so sorry, that's a bit of a spiel, but I want to make sure that everyone understands that Brit School is not this cocoon in Croydon, just going, oh, we are. This is an outward-facing place.
Okay, let me just play this clip because there are some artists that seem a bit bitter, Stuart. Let me play the clip. I will blast and I didn't go to Brit School.
Oh yeah, yeah, jokes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that Ed?
Yeah.
Listen, we love Ed Sheeran.
Okay, but he didn't go to Brit School.
No, he didn't, and I don't think that's okay. He's a
I,
brilliant
I
artist.
wonder if I wonder if he's like a bit bitter because he auditioned and didn't get in or something.
No, I don't think so. I heard that rumor too, but we can't find the application form. Ed has been really brilliant to us. So his backing band, the Kazan Collective, are pretty much made up of Brit School graduates.
Oh, okay.
And Ed
Wow.
also has been brilliant in campaigning for the arts to be taken seriously in secondary schools. So I know that clip. I used to quote it a lot, and I've stopped doing it because he has stood up and gone, actually, everyone should have access to the arts. So
Yeah.
what he has done, like, he has really stood up for the arts. So we thank Ed, and I also think that's a really funny quote. And it's used. It's my mum always asks whether Ed Sheeran. My mum is really sad that Stormzy didn't come to the Brit School because she really loves Stormzy.
Right.
But she also is annoyed that Ed Sheeran didn't come here. And I'm like, Mum, don't worry about it. It's okay. Ed's brilliant.
We've got enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So my niece went to the Brit School.
Oh, okay.
She did art.
Did it go okay?
She's now. She left about 5 years ago. She went to Brighton University to do art. She's
Yep.
now doing art. She's an art director for short films and
Was
getting
she?
experience doing that. It's like, and
Brilliant.
she absolutely swears by the Brit School. But she said it's incredibly hard work
Yeah, I think,
because
yeah, that's cool.
you're doing the art almost full time and or the normal kind of school curriculum.
Yeah.
So it's almost double the workload.
I think there is a misconception in the world that being an artist is easy,
Yeah,
and it's the furthest from the truth. If you're
agreed.
going to be a gifted songwriter, you have got to put the work in. if you're going to be a choreographer, you seriously got to put the hours in. To be a filmmaker, that is hard. That is hard slog.
Yeah.
And I think the kids want that. They really want to work hard. I think there's no lazy kid. I've never met a lazy kid. You know, they want to really commit
Yeah.
and be in it. And that's nice of your niece to say that. I mean, the kids here are exhausted, but they are exhausted through good, if that makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah. They're motivated.
maybe. I hope so.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Um, I mean, I know I'm talking about Brit School because it is fascinating, but
Thank
I
you.
wonder how the audition process works because it must
Yeah,
be
sure.
at third. Well, you audition people at what 13?
Yeah,
It must be really difficult.
yeah, we actually don't audition people. We workshop them. Yeah, so it's a bit different from auditioning. So it's not just standing up and going, "Can you sing?" No, you can't. You can't come in.
Right.
That's not how it works. So
Okay.
there's a long application process. So there's a application process in itself which is written, or if young people find writing hard, they can record what they want to say. All of those applications are read. And then pretty much a significant percentage are invited in for a workshop, which is like a half day. So it's not just your 5 minutes of tap now, or act now, or paint now. It's a whole morning of activities, meeting, working in groups, and I think you could probably call it an audition, but it isn't you wouldn't see it as an audition in the process because you have meetings, you
Right.
sit in groups. It's a kind of it's not like an audition like you would call it. And that
Okay.
process, I think, is to try and work out, it's not just about skill, it's about potential, and it's about like some people simply can't afford a film camera when they're young.
Yeah.
Like we've had kids
Of
come here
course.
who've never made a movie, but because they haven't had access,
Yeah.
or like a kid who's never really been able to afford dance classes, but they've got a passion for dancing.
Yeah.
So we have to. This is a comprehensive school, so we have to ensure that everyone's welcome, if that makes sense. So the process is quite long. I guess the kids might feel it's like an audition, but we've tried to remove the fear that would go with that word, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Which is then you get the best of someone because they're not
Hopefully,
nervous or kind of.
we don't really want them sweating around, going, "Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it?"
Yeah.
It's just that's I don't think that's like conducive to being able to express yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuart, I got one question from mine. I saw my niece last week,
Oh,
and I
okay.
said, "Oh, got Stuart on the podcast this week,"
Yeah,
and she's got one question for you. She said, Nigel, can you just ask him this question?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, sure.
I
What is
know
it?"
what it is.
Okay,
No, it's going to
go.
be
What is
about
it?
footwear.
Oh my God!
Is
How
it?
do you know? Yeah, she
Yeah,
said,
it is, yeah,
"Can you ask him if the bottom of your feet are like as tough as elephant skin?"
yeah. There's only one interesting thing about me in the kids' views is that
That is not true at
it's
all.
true, is that I don't wear shoes, and I don't wear shoes a lot.
Ever.
I'm not wearing shoes now, for instance. Are my I don't know how hard my skin. I just don't like wearing shoes, so I don't wear them. So yeah.
Is that? Have you always been like that? You've never worn shoes?
No, no, no. It's only been it was about 20 years ago. I'm a theatre director, and my work I thought had got boring. I thought that the work I was doing with the students was a bit predictable. So someone recommended I read a book. The book I read was called by a writer called Yoshi Oida. He's a Japanese actor, and he just simply didn't work in shoes in the rehearsal room. And I thought, you know what, I should try that. See what it feels like to be in a room without shoes on. And my work got better, and I felt myself more in contact. I just felt I was kind of delivering, thinking better. My life became less stressful, and so I haven't really read a lot about the theory of it. I just also, it's just the way it is. So
Wow.
it has become a thing, and I wish it wasn't. Well, I knew this question. It's likely to come up. There was a bit. Yeah, that I've literally a kid. I've got sweatshirts that kids have brought me with the no shoes head teacher. So I think I it's funny. I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's literally what people think is the only. Yeah, it's what it is.
Does it inspire other kids or other or teachers there as well to
I
sort of
don't
go around
know.
and go.
I was catching up with Raye recently, and we were
Wait, hang
chatting.
on. You just dropped that in there,
No,
Stuart.
it's true. We did. That's just like
Okay.
it's Brit School, you know. So she wanted me to come and chat to her. Actually, it was on a telly thing that she was doing with Capital, and she says, "You don't wear shoes, sir, and that's why I don't wear them on stage." And I'm like, "That's
Ah.
rubbish. That's absolutely rubbish." But she said, "No, no, no. It's true. It's true." And I don't. Whether is that true? Don't know. But she said
Just,
so. But I
I
don't
believe
think
it.
so. I think the idea, the shoeless thing, just to take myself a bit more seriously, is I want people in this building to be themselves and to be able to connect, communicate. So whether that's your sexuality or your gender choice or your faith or to be happy with your race or your body shape, and I suspect well, maybe me not wearing shoes is a reflection of that, but it's not. It becomes a bit of a talking point, and I don't know whether yeah, there's probably more interesting things to talk about. But I'm glad you asked, by the way, because it's on the front cover of the of people's minds sometimes.
Yes, yeah, certainly. Certainly for someone who knows you, I think, or has been there for sure.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
So let's move on from your feet to music, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
how,
Yeah, sure.
how did you find choosing your top five?
I thought it was really tough. I love music so much, and I found it difficult because I think we are our music. You know, my music is me. I think when you talk, like, there are some people I don't think I can ever really love because they don't like Prince. You know, it's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible. I
yeah.
think if someone says to me, "Oh, do you know I," or that they have a particular artist that they really love, and I think, how, you know,
Why?
yeah, why?
Why?
So
Yeah.
I think a bit like showing people your bookcase or your photographs from your childhood. I think it's revealing, and um, yeah. So I found it difficult, and there's always a couple of artists I always wanted. Like, there's no Otis Redding on this list, and I was like, how did that happen? I never don't have Otis, so I'm having this
Wow.
moment saying sorry to Otis because he's always on every list I do. And then this morning I woke up looking at the list, going,
Where is he?
"There's no Otis. Well, how did that happen?" So I found it hard and also really enjoyable. Yeah,
Oh, good, good. That, I guess that is the task, and you
yeah,
should find it enjoyable as well as difficult.
great,
Let's play your first choice.
great.
This is Starman, David Bowie.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds.
So this is released in unbelievably 1972, and I listened to it when I was doing this, and I thought, God, that still sounds quite fresh. How does that happen? It's a lead single from his fifth studio album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Yep.
Why this one, Stuart?
It's there for a number of reasons. He's my man, and has been in my life since I was like 10. And there's definitely not a week that goes by where I don't play a Bowie album or track, and have done. So he means a lot to me. And in terms of that track and the school, which I've tried to bring it back to the school a lot with these choices, is that catchphrase, "Let all the children boogie." It's kind of like how I like to run the school. So
Okay.
I think that I remember being when I got lucky and I got asked to go on a trip to New York with the kids once, and I find going on school trips pretty challenging because it's weird. And I
In
just said,
what way?
well, just kind of
Weird.
like how weird it is that you kind of wake up in a hotel and the kids are in the same hotel as you. How strange is that, right? So I said to the group leader, I said, listen, can I just go for a walk one afternoon just so I can have a bit of free time? And they let me do that. And it's 2016, and Bowie had died in January, and I live in Beckenham, not true because Bowie did, but it's kind of like fortuitous, right? So he's
Right.
kind of so that lyric, "Let all the children boogie." I've paid for a brick at his bandstand in Beckenham with that phrase on, right? Because I just love that phrase. And
Yes.
I went to his flat in New York, as if that would be anything, just to kind of commemorate him in a way. Like he died in January. This was May, I think, and someone had written that on a on a on the pavement. Let all the children boogie on the pavement outside
Okay.
his old flat in Manhattan. And I was like, yeah, that's right. That's right. That is right. So Starman, I could choose many of his tunes, but that phrase, "Let all the children boogie," is kind of is a good mantra.
For the school. I'm
Yeah,
with you.
and for pretty much how society should treat young people.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, let
absolutely.
them free.
Agree. Love that choice. Love that song.
Thank you.
Your next one is "Stay With Me." Is it "Stay With Me"? "Stay With Me, Baby"?
Oh, whoa. Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
I've got different reports on
Here
this.
she
Oh,
is.
there she is. Look.
I've got
This is-
"Stay With Me."
okay, let's go. "Stay With Me." This is Lorraine Ellison.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, the vocal on that sends
what?
shivers down your spine, doesn't it? It is
Oh my
amazing.
god, that
So,
is so. That's there for three reasons. One is that vocal is what I'm talking about. You know, that is, I think, how she does that. I just don't know. I can't sing, by the way, and I, I just look at that thinking, "Oh, blimey." But the other reason it's in the mix is, I've got quite a lot of records, but this is the only record I've ever brought that's cost a bit of money,
okay,
because it's quite hard to get hold of.
right,
So I spent. It's not a lot of money, by the way. I'm talking like less, about £100, but
okay,
it was a decision I made, because when I was 10, one of my other obsessions was the movies. And that song, with her singing it, was used on a cinema advert, a coffee advert. I'm pretty sure it was coffee. And I used to love going to the movies, but I loved the fact that Lorraine Ellison's "Stay With Me" would be, I'd pretty much guarantee I'd get a bit of that in the coffee advert before the movie. And so I also just wanted to use this track as as an opportunity to talk about my love of movies. I wanted to be a filmmaker. That didn't happen. It's too difficult. So when I see filmmakers here, I'm like, "You're my God, you're taking on the impossible task." And so "Stay
too
With Me,"
difficult.
yeah, it's
Too
hard.
difficult in terms of
It's hard. It's really hard.
well, just
I
to sort of bring it all together. You mean like
I just think it's really, yeah. When I was 16, I wanted to make movies and make theatre. Making theatre was so much easier than making movies. You got to have less people. There's no wires. There's no tech. You can just be in a room and make theatre happen. So I ended up stopped making movies when I was about 23, because it was just such a slog. And then I dedicated my life to making up plays, and that was just easier.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's funny because my niece as she's working on these short films,
yeah,
she's sending me pictures of like what's going on and stuff. And I said to her, I said, "There's a load of people on that set." She go, I was like, "What are they doing?" She goes, every single person has a job,
yeah.
and they are doing that job." I'm saying, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah,
It's
that's
my
how
favorite.
much it takes."
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Brit School's success is that there's a lot of films with Brit School students working behind the scenes. You know,
Yes,
there's a big like your niece. There's a ton of them, and I just love the bit where they go, "Oh, Stuart, I'm a cameraman on this movie, or I'm the second set designer's painting friend. Can you go?" So you go and watch it, and then like you're literally sitting there. You're the only person left in the cinema waiting to see the stunt man from the Brit School, and it's just beautiful. You know, it's nice to go and
yeah,
see movies with Tom Holland and Cush Jumbo and Archie Madakwe, all that gang. But actually, though, the behind the scenes is incredible, and I've always, like, I remember falling in love with Blade Runner when I was young, and falling in love with
yeah,
other movies, and then and now that I know kids that make movies like that, I'm like, you are remarkable. Like, it's a
yes,
remarkable skill.
yes, totally
Yeah, it's
agree.
a
Yeah,
remarkable skill, and I've got
yeah,
so much from movies. So that track was
yeah.
doing things at once. Yeah, yeah,
And it was so moving, even the kind of clips you heard from that. And it's a
right.
shame, I think, that we can't play the whole song now because you hear
Yeah,
the sort of change in her vocal, and it's
it
amazing.
is. It also, it's one of those things that I tried to once dig into her life, and I can't find a lot.
No, I
And
couldn't.
I love Aretha, Etta. They're all big in my life. And I mentioned Lorraine Ellison to people who know their music, and they go, "Remind me." I said, "Well, you'll know 'Stay With Me.'"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh no, it's covered by loads of people." I'm like, "No, I know it's covered by loads of people. I'm telling you, this vocal
Yeah,
is
it's amazing.
it is the thing. It's
Yeah.
and I don't play the record that often because when I do, I just get a bit I really get lost in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a story around how it was recorded. I don't think
What's
it's
that?
recorded in 1966. And
Yes.
apparently it was recorded in a studio that Frank Sinatra had booked with a 46-piece orchestra, but
Okay.
he then cancelled. And they were like, oh, what are we going to do with this massive orchestra? So then
No.
they got Lorraine Ellison in to record that song with the orchestra live. Yeah, apparently.
But thank you for that, by the way, Nige, because I that's helped me because I almost feel like I want to write a play called Lorraine
It's just
because
about her life.
I just want to
Or
kind
her
of
now.
work it out. I mean, look at this. I mean, there we are. Look at that. What a
Yeah.
star. What a
Yeah.
picture.
Because it's a stunning vocal.
Amazing.
Let's move on to your next track.
Okay.
This is Wuthering Heights, Kate Bush.
Yes, it is.
Coming home, walking through the heights with me. It's still can't come back.
This was a debut single, which I didn't
It was,
realise, 1978.
Yep.
And spent 4 weeks at #1 in the
Yep.
UK and I think lots of other countries around the world as well. It was
Yep.
an amazing debut. Why this one, Stuart?
So I'm 11, and this comes out and just blows my mind. Like, blew my mind.
You see,
And
Stuart, we're the same age, right? And
okay,
I heard this at the same time,
yeah,
and I went, "Hey,"
yeah.
like I didn't get it. I was like, very odd.
Okay,
Was
yeah,
my
I did the
reaction to
odd
it.
bit too, but I
Okay,
also I brought the album Kick Inside, which is an album primarily about sex, and I was 11 and that didn't know what that meant, and I just remember it being hypnotic, and Kate Bush then became a very important part of my life and has been ever since. So after Bowie, probably she's the most played artist.
okay,
Her Bowie and Motown probably are what come out of this office a lot. So I did a project piece with her with the kids just before COVID called Something Good, and we had 75 artists, and we said, look, here's Kate Bush, you study her, and let's see what we get. And it was glorious, and I'd had this most beautiful. It's not intended to be a name drop moment, but it was just a really nice part of my life when her manager rang me and said, listen, do you want to bring some kids to this special one-off show we're doing? Kate's doing her first ever gig and we wanted some feedback. And I was like, you're absolutely joking, aren't you? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, Nigel. I was like, I've got a great job. I was literally cycling on my bike in August. And I was like, say that again. He said, yeah, we just need a small audience to see her first show ever in whatever years at Hammersmith. I know it's bonkers, Nigel. It was it was a return to the live circuit after 1979,
yes,
and I didn't want to go in lots of ways because I was like, I hold her in such high esteem as an artist. That song we've just played was the first ever British #1 written by a woman, and that is hard to understand. That and as a person who really believes in making sure that we understand that everyone is invited, you know, to think that women weren't invited to be songwriters is I can't cope
insane.
with that because like we've had a glorious bunch of women, right? So we chucked Kate Bush at the kids and they didn't know who she was, or they might have known that song, or they would have known Running Up the Hill through
Yeah,
that-
TikTok.
before I think before TikTok. So this is 2019. So this is before the
Okay,
Stranger Things got hold of it, and
okay,
and they threw themselves at Kate Bush. And all the kids 75 and got so much from it, and we create this huge show called something good from I think it's from Cloudbursting, and it had a huge impact on me, Nige, like as in
wow,
what if you give an artist to the kids who they don't know, like we did Bowie years ago and they knew him a bit but they didn't know Kate Bush hardly at all, and they were finding out things about themselves and what they wanted to say about the world through her music, and it
wow.
was a beautiful moment. And Wuthering Heights, yeah, like I remember my mum brought me that album, and I think I was 11. I think I got it for my 11th birthday or something, and I remember looking at it and reading these lyrics that were all about sex, really, not all of them, but that was the driver. and I just didn't understand what was going on at all, and maybe I still don't, but I sort of thank her for her artistry, and I think she's never ever, I think, done what people, she's just done her thing. And
Yes.
I'd love, like, when I listen to some of Imogen Heap's work, and she came to Brit School, and I kind of go, you sort of got that, it's a good groove to kind of encourage the kids. So yeah, that's why she's there.
But it's also artists. I certainly get this with Kate Bush, where they're sticking to their art rather
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
than going, what do people want from me?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
going,
yeah.
no, what do I want to produce? And I think that's really important.
It's so true. I played my friend's bonkers about the Dreaming. I think it's her fourth album, or maybe her fourth record, and it's a really difficult listen. It's a really it's hard to get through, and you put that on and like your head just goes, what? Where's that come from? I think she was 23 when she wrote it or something stupid. And I was like, I mean, those first four records were written in such a short space of time by a youngster.
Yeah.
And there's something really powerful about that. And when we were doing the project, I started cycling around sort of Kate Bush landmarks, like where did she live when she wrote Kick Inside, and what recordings I just kind of tried to work out the ingredients to make an artist that. And my friend tells me a really brilliant story. He worked with her, and he tells me a brilliant story about how she dropped the Aerial album, which I think was 10 years in between records, and like no one even knew that it was coming, but she'd been working on it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And she doesn't do public appearances,
No.
doesn't do interviews. Brilliant. Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Staying true to herself, which is,
Yeah, big. Yeah.
yeah. Your next track, I like this one too. Hate, Loyle Carner.
Oh, man.
But still, I tell you what I hate though. The same fellas getting bodied by the plain clothes. The same niggas that will follow on the rainbows. Very same boys that will follow on the way home.
Such cool. The video's so cool as well, which he co-directed, I think, as well.
Yeah,
So
he's directed most of his videos. Yeah.
Is he? Okay. So
Yeah.
he's this one was taken from his third studio album called Hugo of 2022.
Yeah.
And it's well, I don't know if it's true. Intimately reflecting on hate as rooted in fear, which I sort of, given the nature of the UK at the moment, I kind of go, yeah, that's absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Why this one, Stuart?
Well, I had to choose one alumni track for this.
You had a lot to choose from.
Well, I had to do my job right, and I love Ben. I love that kid. I worked with him. He's like I can genuinely say I worked with that kid while he was a student here. Whereas some of them I knew a bit, but we were close, me and Ben. I was his theatre director when he was 14, 15, and
Wow.
we did a lot of stuff together. Some big stuff. Like he was one of the first kids who went with me to a hospice to write songs with people a few months before they died. So
wow.
I've been doing that for the last 20 years, but he was in one of the original, let's go to the hospice and let's talk to people before they die. And Ben,
That must be hard.
it's powerful. Yeah, it's powerful.
Is it?
Like, so Ben sits down with this guy, and I remember it so clearly. This guy had motor neurone disease. And so Ben's job was just to befriend him that morning in a sort of like, and shall we maybe write together, or maybe you tell me a story, I'll turn it into a poem, or maybe into a dance. Give me what you got. And this guy called Martin, I remember it very, very, very vividly. He was so angry. And he was angry because he was going to die young. He was angry because his life, which was pretty full, was degenerating week by week, because that's what degenerative illnesses do. And he was really angry we were there. He was kind of like, what is this? Performing arts? What happy clappy teenagers.
Oh, okay.
And Ben was like, no, I totally get that. I understand that. I understand why you're angry. My stepdad died here in this hospice, and it was tough for me, and I'm coming here to try and come to terms with that. So can I talk to you about that? And maybe we'll see if we can get some common ground. So him and Ben struck up a friendship, which ended up being a song that they wrote together about fearing death.
Okay.
And it was a big moment for me as a theatre man that they had collaborated on this tune, which we recorded. in the studio with the kids, and contributions that we recorded from the people in the hospice. It's just a massive moment. And then Ben and I just always just checked in on each other over the years, and he's come down here a lot, talked to the kids about mental health, talked to the kids about writing lyrics, talked to the kids about how rubbish fame is. You know, he's been proper Brit School.
Yes.
He was the first young person I think I worked with ADHD. This is years ago, and I didn't really know what that meant. And his mum helped me understand it and understand that Ben was this glorious individual. And then when that third album came out, we had this. We hooked up, and he was like, "I'm really anxious about this one, sir." And I was like, "Tell me, sir, because I think it's a good piece of work, you know, and I just want this to go well." And then luckily on that tour, the Hugo tour, I saw him a few times. Just we happened to be in the right place at the right time, so I went to see him a few times, playing different venues. I saw him at Hammersmith, and then a very small intimate show, and then I saw him play the famous Albert Hall gig, and he opens with that tune. And when he comes on stage, he's a firecracker. You know, he's released, and our kids love that kid, and they love him, I think, because not only does he talk about how he struggled with race and hatred that he's faced, he also talks about how much he loves his mum, and he talks about how difficult it is to get girls to like you, and he also talks about the beauty of cooking. You know, so he's really ripped up the rule book on what you write about. And now, and I know him as an actor, because when he was 16, we were doing this play about fascism in Britain, and he was in it, and we had such a good laugh doing it. It was really good fun. And now he's gone back into acting a bit, and I'm really chuffed that he's doing that. So yeah, that's my Loyle Carner story. Love that, and that boy is the real deal.
Yeah, what an amazing story. And Stuart, you mentioned there that, does he still call you sir?
Yeah.
Is that a bit weird, or is that like he's a sort of
grown
adult who's left school?
Loads of them do, and it's weird. There's someone who I won't mention, but she wrote to me the other day going, "Mr. Worden, I'm sorry, I can't call you your real name." And I'm like, I'm called Stuart here, right? Because I don't care about that sort of stuff. But there's some of them that still do, and it's just funny, and I think it's a bit of a joke that they have, but I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, they're probably so used to that dynamic that it never changes in their heads.
Yeah, I guess so. That I can remember, like, there's a couple of them that are really well known now, and they're like, "Oh, are you coming to my gig tonight? I'm really nervous." I'm like, "No, you're not. There's like 10,000 people here. What are you talking about?" You know. So I treat it lightly. You shouldn't take it too seriously. It's just fun being in a school. Yeah. So,
let's move on to your final track.
Yes.
This
wow.
is from the musical Into the Wood.
Yeah.
It's by Stephen Sondheim, and this is No One Is Alone.
Wow.
They are not alone. No one is alone. Someone is on your side.
Oh, thank you so much.
So Stuart, it's an absolute pleasure. But I've got to hold my hands up. So I'm not a massive musical fan,
That's okay.
so I don't know this one. And but I read about it as I was doing the research on this, and it's got like Little Red Riding Hood and lots of kind of characters like that in the same musical.
Yeah, all the fairy tale characters come together in a exploration of like relationships, childhoods, the power of myth, the breakdown of the family. Yeah, so it's a serious musical where all the fairy tale characters hang out, and I have a long history with that show, and sort of changed my life. And
in terms of how, like, what kind of history?
So I did it in the 90s here at school, and I didn't know it. And someone said, "Oh, you'll like this show. Do this show." So I threw myself at it, and I had a time of my life, to be honest, Nige. And I found something quite deep about myself. I think during the process, it's about how no one's perfect, and that childhood is difficult, and parenting is difficult, and life is difficult, and yet so it's got a beauty to it which kind of resonated with me. The kids at the time, and I could name there were 37 of them in that class because we couldn't afford small class sizes at the time, so it was massive, and I could name, I reckon, pretty much all of them now, nearly 30 years on, just
Wow.
because something happened during that process, and I went with one. We yeah, something. I know that that's true because we've all said it over the years that whatever happened
And
in that
it,
process, yeah.
so it wasn't something that you were expecting to happen. It just sort of
No,
there was
no.
something.
I think there's something in those songs, and I'm not a. I don't. I don't understand. I don't. I'm not academically, musically. I'm not knowledgeable about chords and middle eights, and I don't really know that very well. But I love how music can make you feel, and I didn't quite know what Sondheim was doing to me. I was being wrapped in a spell, and so I returned to that show again and again because something's in there that I think reveals itself about the human condition for me,
Wow.
and
Okay.
I mean that in a very big way, by the way, and I'm not ducking it, and it, yeah, there's something in that show for me that I find it, I haven't quite come to terms with. I'm in a relationship with that show, and those songs, yeah.
For 30 years as well.
Yeah, just
That's
trying to work it out.
intense.
I can't quite work out what it's done to me, and went to see it recently in the West End because one of our kids was playing Little Red Riding Hood, and she's a great kid, and I sat there like tears rolling down my face, going, "What is happening here? Why? What is this?" In the way that like Starm, all the songs I've chosen today will make me cry, but I wonder why, you know.
Yeah.
And also, I've done.
That
I was a person that didn't understand musicals till I did them, and I thought they were for different people. And then I realized that the musical art form is got so much in it for me, and I'm very grateful that I found that music, that art form, as well as all the other music that I like. It's a world that I'm
yes.
really comfortable with and have got huge amounts from. Yeah.
I genuinely feel like I need to go and see Into the Woods
Well,
at the West End now.
maybe it's, yeah, it's going, yeah, it's opening again soon, and it might not happen to you, but it for me it did. So
And is it the music or was it the story
it's
along with the
everything.
music?
It's the whole kind of thing, and then
Hmm.
it is we set the show inside a children's bedroom, so, and it's about wishing, and there's a bit in it that goes, yeah, and it's about be careful what you wish for, that there is no perfect family, there is no happy ending. The ending is not happy in Into the Woods.
Okay.
It's tough. It's a tough
That's
ending.
that doesn't sound like a. So my impression with musical is that it's the opposite of
It
that.
doesn't do that.
Okay.
This goes, we are all messed up.
Oh, see, maybe that is my kind of musical.
Yeah. The Cinderella's messed up. Little Red Riding Hoods, the wolves are out there. That's how I went with it, and I it means a lot to me, and I thought about whether I should reveal that, because I know this is a podcast, and you become public property. It becomes like things that other people that don't know you go, "Oh, what's that bloke going on about?" But I wanted to be vulnerable in that moment as well, if that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what music is. Certainly, what this
yeah,
podcast is about those
for real.
emotional moments, those
Yes,
emotional connections that
yeah,
you have
it
with
is. Yeah,
music.
it's revealing.
Yeah,
I'm a private person, but we're all vulnerable, aren't we, to
of course.
feelings that we have? Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Stuart, that was your top five. They were
Um,
brilliant, along with the stories you told as well.
I hope
Amazing.
so.
Thank you.
I don't know. I like. It was lovely to be asked, and particularly as it came from an alumni, that means a lot. And
Yeah.
I find all those 5 tracks a bit much for me personally. So so you're putting yourself out there, aren't you? A bit, as they say.
You are.
Yeah.
That's what the podcast asks of people a little bit, I think. So it's good. And
Congrats. Well,
thank you for doing that.
you've definitely done that.
Uh, Stuart, 2026, what does it look like for you? What have you got on for the rest of the year?
I'm gonna carry on working in the palliative care and theatre world. I'm creating a brand new piece about that. I'm just about to go into rehearsals for a little piece that uses Hamlet and the music of Nirvana and Joy Division to explore mental health. Yeah, that's
Wow,
happening at 1:30 today. Um,
that's amazing.
yeah, that's going on. And then kind of our fashion course has got a gig this term, which is important. And then we've got some students who are just graduating who I think are fantastic, and I hope they make great movies, and I hope they make great TV and great art.
Can you, as they graduate, can you sort of identify the ones you think,
sure,
yes, yes,
sure.
yes? Can you?
Likely, yeah. I can,
Okay.
it's been nice to go, oh, that's where I was when I first saw Jessie in a
Yeah.
musical, or I heard Adele sing her original song for the first time. That's just joyful. Yeah, and that's just, and there's so much sort of talent and energy in this building that you can't see it all, but you can plug in,
Yeah.
Plugging in is great. So, and the other thing I've got to do, and I've got to go to it in about 1 minute's time, is I'm always we're raising funds for the school, and I've got a fundraising meeting in about 2 minutes because we're trying to work out how to keep the school doing what it's doing. So I'm doing a fair bit of that this term as well. So,
yeah. Best of luck though with that, because the country needs you, frankly.
Oh, well, we've done good. We've done good.
You have done really
Yeah,
good.
I want to keep encouraging that.
And Stuart, I know how busy you are because I've obviously waited months to get you on the podcast, so I really appreciate your time.
Honestly, it was lovely to be asked. Big love to your niece, and thanks for asking me. It's been really special.
Thanks, Stuart. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.